Hi everyone, I hope you're well. This is CoinsKid, just going over to Bitcoin. We've got a CoinsKid cruise. So right now Bitcoin is doing okay. One thing I'm relaying to you right now is the same message I was relaying to you way back down there, okay? Way back in January when we closed back above the thick yellow line, which is my bull market support band, okay? I remember when we was coming all the way down there and we get really overextended from it. I said to you, we need to come back into it to backtest to confirm that, you know, you're ultra bearish here. At some point you will come back above, and when you do, that's the key signal. And we did. We came back up and we got closed above it, okay? We had an initial week of resistance, then we got our ass back above it. And at that point, go back to the videos right there. I said to you, my minimal target for Bitcoin, because of the close above that thick yellow line, is this leg of resistance here, 28k. You see that? And that's exactly where we got to. Double tapped it in ascending triangle, then we broke out again. So it was a huge move for the CoinsKid crew from that position just there. When we got above, you were looking at a monster move around about 46%, okay, when everyone's really fearful. And it's just, you know, data, it's just a chart. So all I'm doing, relaying the data to you. So right now I'm telling you, a very similar situation has occurred here. What we've done, we've come up and we've got back above the thick yellow line, the bull market support band. So going forward, providing we hold this, you know, you can see how it starts to creep up into resistance. Providing this starts to hold a support going over the next few weeks, into the next few months, Bitcoin should in theory hold its support and start to attack these level of resistance. Then if we start to do that, when you've got what you've got here is a whopping ascending triangle. There's your resistance, there's your low, there's your resistance, there's your high low, and right now if you start to attack it, in theory you should break it on the third point of contact. Well, if you do start to break this ascending triangle, you know, you're going to start to attack these levels here, aren't you? So it's all about holding this thick yellow bull market support band for me going forward right now, and it's breaking that resistance. Break that resistance, Bitcoin's super bullish. My minimal target is 47k. Okay, why? Because it's that level of resistance right there, you know, the massive bump and run pattern, and I've gone through this with you a million times. Equally, there's a bit of confluence right now. We do usually see the third wave get to the 2618 fib, and that's exactly where it is from this point here. It's right on the money. Look, from this low here of the C wave down to the top of the B wave high in July, look at it, 2618, which is a powerful wave 3. Look at that. So there's a little bit of confluence stacking up right now that if Bitcoin breaks that 31860, it should go vertical to 47505 at least. But again, this can all be invalidated if right now we start to break down below this, and this is some kind of little bull trap right there for Bitcoin. So this is key support going forward, this thick yellow line. Okay, the thick yellow line, it's really simple. It's the bull market support band. It's the weekly 20 EMA. Okay, and you drop it into your charts. Like I said to you many times, all you do is go to indicators, drop it into your charts, go EMA, okay, drop it in, and then go to it, and what you do, you just change it to weekly. So go to the cog, just there, settings, go to inputs, and go to where is it, time frame is 1 week, and it's entirely up to you, you know, what style you want to have. But that for me is your bull market support band. It's a key indicator. Get it into your charts. Okay, so obviously going forward, what we need to see is consistent closes above this. If we start to take this out right now and have weekly closes below it, it's going to start to creep us down, and you know, it could indeed push us down. So it's a looking glass, it's a clue, just like it was way back there in January that led to the 28k. Right now we're sort of getting our ass back above it. Is it a clue that we're about to march to 47k, you know, in a big whopping wave 3 right there? So, you know, that's my macro outlook. Providing we can do what we're doing right now and hold this support going forward over the next few weeks, it will creep you up and it will see you attack these level of resistance. And at that point, if you take that out, you know, Bitcoin could go vertical, because I think everybody at that point will, you know, jump onto the train, and that's usually what you see in the big third waves of an impulsive move. For example, look, that was a big third wave. Look at that, the power, okay, to break resistance. So anyway, yesterday we did nail an inverse head and shoulders pattern, didn't we, for Bitcoin? And you know, we rode that up and took profit at that point as well. It's a beautiful little trade, and these are the things I try and show you on a daily basis, the ins and outs right there for Bitcoin. But right now we sort of holding these EMAs, aren't we? So it's really crucial in the next few weeks we stay above these key EMAs as well, and these bullish crosses on the daily, you know, and start to create some kind of consolidation here. The key support for me right now is this yellow line. So if you're in any positions for Bitcoin and you're looking to ride that up to 47k, which is about an 85% impulsive move from here, then this is your spot support basically, and your leverage support right there at 26039. Why that level? Because this is structure right now. If you start to come up like this and you take this out, then obviously you're not holding the structure of an uptrend that's forming just there. So you know, a few weeks ago, like I said to you, got a 1 2 3 4 5. Everyone down there was really bearish, but we bought the fear. You know, we went long, and at that point we ran into resistance, come back to a high level support, and right now we ran into this leg here, which is what we was expecting. Right now we're consolidating a range. If we hold all this support going forward, this will creep us up. We'll attack that, possibly some kind of ascending triangle, and then we'll break towards that white line. Take that out, you know, I think Bitcoin's going to surge basically, and that really is that simple. So again, it can all be invalidated, and my invalidation point right now is multiple closes below the weekly 20 EMA on the weekly, and equally taking out 26039 is your bull market support. Let's dive into the hourly time frame and see if we can spot anything. Okay. So quickly before jumping into the hourly time frame, just taking a quick look at the DXY. Since it broke out just there and it back tested this as support, so there's your level of resistance on that point just there, okay? And then we've got that back test support, which is a technical breakout target of a falling wedge. We've come up, and ever since we're sort of creating this bearish divergence, but on the last point of contact just there of this rising wedge, what we've got for the DXY, so a very steep rising channel. Look at that. You know, what we've got is that bearish divergence. So like I said to you previously on a video, if we start to take this trend line out here, this could be a looking glass that this is about to drop and come back down to where you form the wedge, okay? And at that point we start to see Bitcoin going the other direction. So yesterday what we have done, if you take a look, we've broken out of this level of support and we've lost the support in the RSI. This is why I said to you the RSI is key, okay? But we do have, technically we do have a small bullish divergence in the RSI, so you might see a little retracement for the DXY into this resistance on the RSI before continuation. If we do start to come up like this, attack that, fail to make that high, so it's basically a lower high, and then we drop towards that target just there, which could lead to, you know, if this drops down after this massive run up here, we could see Bitcoin going the other direction. So it's just technical analysis to back up any theory and confluence on the DXY. So in theory what we should be looking at is some kind of correction coming back up, making a lower high to that, tap this level of resistance because you're broken out of the wedge right now, and then, you know, you confirm your resistance and you drop for the remainder towards that technical target of where you form the wedge, and at that point you start to see this retracement coming for the DXY, and this is just an opportunity for Bitcoin right there. So let's dive into the Bitcoin chart on the hourly time frame, see what we can see. Looking at Bitcoin on the hourly time frame, we've got the left shoulder, the head, the right shoulder, and yesterday we'd got a lovely little trade, didn't we? We sort of broke out, come back to this support. Like I said to you, compression between the EMAs. You get your close above a 10, you've got to go long, put your stop loss on a swing low, you know, ride it up, and, you know, TP at the TP point, which is a technical break target of this inverse head and shoulders, you know, and pay yourself, always pay yourself at the technical break targets, and right there we've come back in, haven't we? Now there is an untapped level of resistance up here as well for Bitcoin. See that level just there? I expect Bitcoin's trying to get to that, you know, and tap it to at least confirm it as resistance with the potential to break through it. So, you know, slowly but surely we come upstairs. We do have 3 waves here like this, okay? So that could be the correction in, obviously. But what I'm looking at right now is time. So what I'm looking at for Bitcoin, you know, market symmetry here, we do have a potential impulsive move and another impulsive move just there for Bitcoin. And right now this could be corrective, just like this was corrective before a massive move to the upside. And what we've got is possibly some kind of leading diagonal, the 1, the 2, the 3, the 4, the 5, something like that, a leading diagonal off that bottom that we put in September. It's possible, okay? But obviously going forward, like I said to you, that is your structure for this, okay? So Bitcoin can retrace as much as it likes, coming all the way back like this without losing it, and still remain, you know, technically bullish here off this little impulse that we've got from September a few weeks ago. So what I'm looking at right now as a possible scenario for Bitcoin is time, basically. So let me go through this with you. So this particular impulse here that came up, met the 1618 like an absolute boss from that low just there, came up 1618 like an absolute boss, then come in for the correction, okay? So how long did that take? You know, so we'll measure that going forward for Bitcoin. So from that point just there, that bottom to the top, that took roughly, what was that? 7 days, 20 hours, okay? So we know that that was the bottom of a correction. So in theory, if we all have got this perfect symmetry at the moment, we should be there or thereabouts on 7 days. We were 7 days, 3 hours, okay? So 7 days, 7 days. You've got a 7-day cycle here for the impulsive move. So effectively what we could be looking at, if we are mirroring it, okay, and we've got this correction that's mirroring this length of correction as well in time, then, you know, we could just say, okay, well, when does the correction finish? Because the correction finished at that time, on, you know, from that correction all the way down to there, that bottom took 5 days, 20 hours. So if we are sort of mirroring it, we should be looking at least a 5-day correction from this point here. Do you understand? So effectively we could say, okay, well, the optimal entry point for Bitcoin is on this day. 5 days, 20 hours. Let's get that knob on. Is it 20 hours yet? So we should be looking at, in theory, Sunday morning should be the correction over for Bitcoin, and, you know, it should be an optimal entry point given the fact that we've come up in 7 days, come down in 5, come up in 7, come down in 5. You know, the bottom of the correction should in theory be whatever Bitcoin's doing. It doesn't matter. In theory, we should be looking to enter Bitcoin on Sunday, you know, to come up and get that beautiful weekly close and a potential impulsive move back up against resistance, basically. So after that, we could say, okay, well, we're looking at a 7-day impulse then on the next the next wave up. So we could be looking at a 7-day impulse where Bitcoin comes up. I think it was around about 7 days or something, wasn't it? you know, you could be looking week to week scenario right there, that Bitcoin has this correction finished by Sunday morning opportunity, and then it comes up and you sell on this dotted line right there. You know, that's the next wave up basically, and take profit, and you've got perfect leading diagonal off the low here. You've got a 1, a 2, a 3, a 4 that bottoms on Sunday, wherever it bottoms. You know, I wish I could tell you exactly where it's going to be. I'll try and find it for you as best I can, and then boom, you come up, you know, and you've got a 5-way perfect symmetry right there. It's an absolute possibility, and we're keeping that going forward. But so far so good. I hope you're enjoying the content. I hope you understand what I'm talking about. But I'll be back tomorrow with another trade on Bitcoin. Okay, hope you enjoyed that update. Stay healthy, stay strong, stay tuned. Take care everyone. Bye bye.